Raiders Nation, we need to talk. There is that heavy silence hanging in the air that we just cannot ignore, one of those training camp mornings that felt totally normal until the exact second everything changed. This makes no sense. And the more we look at this situation, the worse it gets. How is it that a team carrying so many expectations into the start of this 2026 season finds themselves down on their knees in training camp, praying in absolute silence? Everyone caught their breath, and the big question hammering in our heads is, did our biggest offensive weapon just get taken out before the very first official whistle? So smash that like button and stay till the end, because what is going on behind the scenes could completely change the destiny of our squad. Let us recap every single detail of what went down on that sacred turf, according to solid reports from multiple reporters and insiders who were right there watching the intense pace of Raiders practice. The vibe was electric, the team was grinding hard, looking for chemistry and that physical edge we expect from guys who want to run the division. On a quick play, star running back Ashton Jeanty ran a precise route, laid out to try and snag a tough intermediate pass, and that was the exact moment the unfortunate collision happened. He went helmet to helmet with cornerback Darian Porter on a freak hit. According to everyone witnessing it up close, Jeanty stayed motionless on the turf for a good second, that eternal second that freezes any passionate fan's blood. The immediate reaction from the coaching staff and teammates told the whole story about the real gravity of the moment. They ordered the music playing in the background of the training camp field to be cut. The sound stopped dead. Dead silence. Players started dropping to their knees on the green grass, praying in total silence for our second-year running back. The tension was cutthroat in the air. Trainers had to rush out to help Jeanty off the field, and the visual was truly heartbreaking. He simply could not put weight on his right leg, needing to be carried off between the lines with total caution. At first, early speculations flying wildly behind the scenes and across social media from heavy hitters like Adam Schefter pointed to a potential devastating knee injury. The entire fan base went ice cold instantly. Think about our collective reaction. Losing the guy who was the absolute bedrock of the offense right in the preseason felt like a mortal blow to our 2026 aspirations. But take a deep breath and pay attention, because the next news brought partial relief, even though worry still reigns inside the franchise offices. Now we know for sure it was not the knee. According to recent updates from Schefter and other reports from inside the organization, the diagnosis changed to an ankle sprain. Think about that, an ankle sprain is infinitely better news than a season-ending knee ligament tear. But can we actually relax and celebrate? That is exactly where strategic analysis kicks in, and we have to be ruthlessly realistic about the size of the crater left behind. What does the exact timeline look like for Ashton Jeanty's recovery? The precise severity of this sprain is still under strict medical evaluation, and official details have been handled with extreme caution by the coaching staff and the health department. It could be a mild, low-grade sprain, or it could be a high ankle sprain, which is the ultimate biomechanical nightmare for any guy who relies purely on explosion, lightning-fast cuts, and pure lateral speed. If it is a high sprain, sports medical experts point out it could take anywhere from 4 to 8 full weeks for a running back to fully recover and hit his peak athletic performance. This is the worst-case scenario for this kind of injury right at this point in the prep calendar. If that actually happens, if this longer timeline gets confirmed over the next few days, we could be looking at our lead runner missing time right during the crucial opening games of the regular season. In the worst case speculated by market analysts, Jeanty could miss 6 to 7 games at the start of the year. That is a brutal hit, but let us look at the glass half full. The team went from the real risk of losing the guy for the whole year to the more palpable prospect of seeing him back on the field within the first third of the season. It is a major turnaround, but it brings up an inevitable question that splits opinions. How does the offense survive without its main ground weapon in the opening weeks? Is this a smart call by the medical staff to protect the athlete with caution, or are we quietly risking rushing him back and hurting his long-term physical output? The fan base is totally split. Forums are on fire with heated debates about player durability, and the front office knows damn well any misstep here will cost way too much in the standings. But hold your horses, because what comes next completely flips the script on who is going to run this offense on the first Sunday of games. And this annoying uncertainty around Ashton Jeanty's exact recovery timeline brings an immediate, unavoidable domino effect straight to the strategic blueprint drawn up for the most talked about rookie in our class. The first overall pick of the 2026 draft. Let us look at the current context coldly and objectively. Jeanty, who arrived in the franchise as the 6th overall pick in the 2025 draft, had a simply stellar rookie season, living up to every bit of hype from the fans. He put up 975 rushing yards and 5 clutch touchdowns, plus he was a massive safety valve through the air, actively contributing as a receiver with 55 catches, 346 yards, and another 5 receiving touchdowns. Losing that Swiss Army knife in Klint Kubiak's dynamic offensive system flips the whole playbook and forces the staff to rethink things. According to backstage info dropped by Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated, the front office and coaching staff are taking an ultra-cautious approach regarding the ideal time to throw rookie quarterback Fernando Mendoza into the fire of the NFL regular season. The internal guideline is crystal clear. The suits do not want Mendoza taking the keys too early unless there is a solid, experienced, and consistent supporting cast around him to protect the young signal caller from dangerous spots. And this is right where Jeanty's untimely injury acts as a total game breaker. Without our lead back to challenge opposing defenses straight down the hill, absorb hits, take the heat off blitzes, and keep the game balanced, the weight on whoever is running the offense multiplies exponentially. This complex setup puts veteran Kirk Cousins right in the spotlight to take the wheel of the offense to start the year. During intense OTAs and mandatory minicamp, the plan seemed obvious to analysts. Cousins would start as the seasoned vet, steadying the ship while the team found its footing in the league. However, head coach Klint Kubiak threw fuel on the fire by publicly hinting that the starting quarterback job is still an absolute wide-open competition. In recent comments to reporters covering the team, Kubiak went straight to the point with no filter. "We have another week of games. I do not want anyone feeling comfortable in their job. It should always be like that for every position. So we are going to keep moving forward." That bold, provocative statement from Kubiak forces us to openly question, is the coach just strategically bluffing to keep training intensity high, or is there a real tangible chance we see Fernando Mendoza breaking protocol and starting sooner than planned, even with Ashton Jeanty out for a bit? The Raiders are facing a monumental and unprecedented strategic dilemma. The franchise needs to weigh with surgical precision what is best to win right away in Week 1 versus what is strategically safest for Fernando Mendoza's long-term development and protection. If Jeanty actually misses several weeks straight, rolling with Kirk Cousins feels like the most logical, mature, and safe move to protect the rookie from a heavily pressured line. But what if fan pressure and urgency for immediate wins demand the fresh energy of our quarterback of the future right out of the gate? Is this indispensable tactical prudence to protect the team's prize asset, or excessive hesitation that could cost precious wins right at the start of a brutal schedule? The doubt is out there on talk shows, experts debate pros and cons daily, and the atmosphere in Las Vegas is electric. Mike Washington Jr., though, steps up to change that conversation. Despite the massive, scary health scare with Ashton Jeanty, the Las Vegas Raiders breathe a little easier now that the 2026 regular season is knocking on our door full force. The initial panic at training camp gave way to a cold, rational, and tactical assessment of the deep talent on the current roster. Remember that pure tension. The Raiders feared the worst when Jeanty limped off the field unable to put weight down, with the whole team on their knees in dead silence around him. But as NFL lore goes, one man's bad break is instantly another man's golden spotlight. And that is right where the two great pieces of news land to calm the Raider Nation's heart. The first, obviously, is the relieving ankle sprain diagnosis instead of a devastating knee ligament tear or bone break. The second huge piece of news, and easily the most impressive takeaway of this preseason, is that rookie running back Mike Washington Jr., smartly snagged in the 4th round out of Arkansas, has proven on the field he is more than ready to carry the load and hold down the fort in Jeanty's temporary absence. Think about this kid's athletic profile. The 2026 running back class was unfairly slept on and pushed down by analysts after Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price went in the 1st round of the draft. Guys with legit 2nd or 3rd round talent slipped right into the scouts' laps, and our front office's smarts shined bright by grabbing Mike Washington Jr. with the 22nd pick of the 4th round. We are talking about a dude with an elite physical profile and scary athletic traits. 6'1", around 215 pounds of pure power, and a blazing 4.33 40-yard dash. On top of that, he showed steady, major growth in college at Arkansas after solid stints at Buffalo and New Mexico State. The numbers he put up in the preseason speak loud and clear. Over 2 hard-fought preseason games, Washington racked up 106 rushing yards strictly after contact, totaling an impressive 119 yards on just 15 official carries, which works out to a crushing average of nearly 8 yards a pop. That level of instant production is not just a stat bonus. It became absolute mission critical for the Raiders given Ashton Jeanty's unexpected injury. While the whole Raiders community waits for the exact moment quarterback Fernando Mendoza, the first overall draft pick, Heisman winner, and undefeated national champ out of Indiana takes over the offense for good, it is a talented fourth-round product out of Arkansas who might end up starting the season running at literal high speed from the very first official snap. An inevitable comparison floats around the training camp halls. Analysts point out striking physical and stylistic similarities between Washington and former top Raiders running back legend Darren McFadden. Both have that classic north-south runner style, great contact balance, and lethal edge speed to stretch plays to the perimeter, fitting seamlessly into the zone running scheme Klint Kubiak plans to run hard this season. With the other backfield options consisting of guys like Roman Hemby, Dylan Laub, and Dare Ogunbowale, the massive weight on rookie Mike Washington Jr.'s shoulders will be monumental from the Week 1 kickoff. The question burning in every fan's mind is, will this young talent translate that preseason explosion into high-level production against real starting defenses in the regular season, or are we hyping up a small sample size? Is this the lucky find of a hidden gem, or a way too risky leap of faith? Now I want to hear straight from you, diehard fan. Is this a safe road to success, or are we staring at a ticking time bomb ready to blow up in our face? Losing Ashton Jeanty early hurts deep, but the lightning-fast rise of Mike Washington Jr. and the towering shadow of Fernando Mendoza set up a script worthy of a Vegas blockbuster. The 2026 season promises extreme emotions from start to finish. Drop your fiery take in the comments, share with the whole Raider family, and until the next video, chasing glory.